So it is a fresh start because there's no way. We didn't even think we were going to be filmmakers after that.
Because we have been developing this for many years now. And like you said, exactly like you said, it's been a very organic process. We've been developing it the way we develop all our other shows. And
we are not able to see an effective tool for action that cuts away too soon from the actor.
People watching our work are better at judging our work.
Correct.
Like if I make something and say this is funny, so we are funny people, and you don't find it funny, it's a...
Hi everyone, this is Kunal Kothari. You're watching me on IWMBuzz, and with me are perhaps two people who are the busiest people right now in the entertainment industry. And I don't think they are complaining, and we are definitely not complaining. The fantastic duo of Raj and DK. Hi guys, welcome.
Hello.
So I just, that my intro was to be a segue into my first question itself, because it's crazy to think that, in the past 4 to 5 years, so to speak, there has been like this pool of content you guys have been consistently delivering and have an amazing track record, which continues with Citadel, Honey Bunny. But my question is, as creators, you've also seen a time where, it's sporadic. You work, it takes a while to come out, etc., etc. So when you do so much content back to back, does it affect your objectivity? Does it affect your creative process in a way that, I'm like, okay, let's hold back, let's think a bit more. Does that affect at all?
We work a lot, we write a lot, we're always writing or thinking. I have some 15 really nice story ideas sitting there. And we were always wanting to make more, except the system wasn't allowing us earlier. So we even shoot fast, like the whole thing, our process is fast, but we're just sitting on dates and stars and schedules and all that stuff. So the first few films were really dictated by external factors to actually make the film. So it used to take us 1 and 2 years. It used to be that slow, right?
2 years. I think all our first films were like 2 years apart.
2 years apart.
Exactly.
And then while you're sitting and waiting and instead of moping about it, we started writing more. So all these have genesis during those years.
Oh, amazing.
So a lot of these ideas, or at least some bits, some characters, some ideas, they're all from the times where we were sitting around and writing. So I think we are at a good pace right now in terms of writing. And there is we don't do one draft, we do like 10, 15 drafts for every time. But the effort is continuous.
Right. Super, super. And, I always love reading in general about, people's interviews and people's opinions about you in general. I don't mean specifically something. And I love some adjectives that I used for you. So, I had to point it out. And I want to know that what you use, words like zany, clutter breakers, and, enticing cinema literates, all these heavy dose of words. How much do you all agree with it? Or, how much do you think about it, like objectively?
I mean, ultimately, I think whatever people say about us, that's fine, because ultimately, right, I mean, we are not, people watching our work are better at judging our work.
Correct.
Like if I make something and say this is funny, so we are funny people, and you don't find it funny, it's really a meaningless thing.
Absolutely.
But if you say it's funny or you call us funny, then I guess it makes more sense.
There was an article that one of the initial years that was written for our interview, and they called us something like comedy kings or kings of something, I don't know, king or not, something about comedy masters or something. And I realized comedy is such a broad term.
Yeah.
It was a great article, but it was such a broad term that I couldn't I couldn't see the specificity in it. So when people use specific adjectives, I appreciate it because there is a certain point that they're trying to tell us, or they're trying to see that we can also see, okay, our work has this bit in it. Let's say they say self-aware or zany or witty. I'm thinking, okay, that's coming through versus let's say it's a good film or a funny film.
Generic.
Yeah,
it's more generic.
Yeah.
Correct. Super. Fantastic. Coming to Citadel, I think the biggest factor with this universe right now is the coinciding worlds. There is a continuation, there is a timeline that it follows, all the 3 worlds that we're talking about. But what I'm very curious about is that you must have worked very organically towards it, the way Indianizing the entire world of it, right? Does the critical or the commercial reception of the other, be it Citadel or be it Citadel Diana, affect the way you thought about this world? Or, is it more like a later process that if, things turn out, how will that turn out to be?
The latter one, whatever you said, it's a later process. Because we have been developing this for many years now. And like you said, exactly like you said, it's been a very organic process. We've been developing it the way we develop all our other shows, and sitting for years, breaking our heads on the characters and the arcs and the drama and the authenticity and everything. Yes, there are some small considerations about fitting it into the universe, and the fact that our story is about the kid Nadia, who grows on to become Priyanka, offers a very natural segue to their series. All that said, how those shows do or how they are received is a little bit of a later point, because by then we've already finished it. We were already in the middle of shooting,
right?
And so I mean, if it does well, it's good for us. If people love it, it's more people wanting to watch our show. Otherwise, people have to just
I just heard Citadel Diana broke records.
Yeah, that's true.
Italy, and I'm like, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a good strong train.
So win-win situation in this case for everyone. Super, fantastic. And okay, I am probably one of the few. I wouldn't say few people, but I'm surely in the minority right now. I loved Flavors. I do not know how many people have seen it. I absolutely love that film. People keep recognizing you for 99 and so on, but I've seen Flavors and it was fantastic. So firstly, I had to just put it across because I love that film. And continuing to that, I think, what happened, and when you came to India, I know the story, everybody knows the story, how you all came to Mumbai and, things turned out to be. My curiosity with that was that after Flavors, which was obviously about the immigrants, about, having a certain appeal, language being a factor in there, was 99 a very obvious shift that, now that you are in Mumbai, the hub of entertainment industry, we have to look for much more rooted stories? Or was it like, chalo theek hai, dikhte hai?
No, we ran out of stories after Flavors. We knew only one story. We knew about us when we were living in the US. We knew about the diaspora we were, were part of. That was it. So it is a fresh start, because there's no way. We didn't even think we were going to be filmmakers after that, right? So we had to.
Kind of did, but it took a long time.
It took a while. Like, it's not like I'm going to go to Bombay
like we have
and become
money or we have infrastructure or we have connections, nothing, right? We are landing in Bombay with suitcases.
With 99, what happened was, we wrote Shore in the City 99 together. Shore was naturally coming to us, because it became first time we were in the city, and it was hitting sights and smells and sounds. So Shore was for me, it's all about pictures I was taking and picking clips of newspapers. So Shore was happening. While 99, we always had we wanted to break the stereotype of a hero. That's how it started. That we had a photo of goons standing from some movie, like how they. It's the opposite of the hero. Exactly. Hero is standing and you turn around and like 15 goons standing with chakus and all. The one guy who was not really acting in that photo, he was just standing there. I said, we want to make a movie about that guy. A guy who is inconsequential in a crime world. So something has to spark off, and it took a while to write all this, because you had to discover your own wheel. So
absolutely, super. And okay, I think everyone knows by now that there is some very valid but great obsession that you have with long take sequences. Everyone adores it right now and loves it. But what I want to ask is it something that comes very naturally to you, or it's more like now this is a signature? Because now it's become a thing that when you see a long shot, it's a Raj DK shot in a show, in a film, whatever it is. So why? Why is it so natural to you that you have to work with like that?
We did it for the first time in the Family Man.
Of course,
right? Because we've part of it came from the fact that we didn't have enough resources to stage a big action sequence with a lot of spectacle. So we chose to find other ways to make it interesting, and then we very quickly realized that when you go with the one take sequence, it puts the viewer in the place of the protagonist. And so the suspense that the protagonist feels starts building in the same way for the viewer as well, and it worked out very well.
What's funny is that we didn't even think initially, it's a sequence where that Kareem kid, that college boy, he gets killed. And, so we were like, we had 4 days of shoot or 5 days of shoot planned. We didn't have money for it. We're looking at it, it's like, my God, it's not happening. when we started thinking, ki, what if we stay with Kareem?
Yeah.
And then we went in, he sat down, and we said, like, you know what, let's extend it because it's looking so good, it's feeling so right. It was almost like inventing it as you were doing it, and then we realized, you know what, this whole thing is going to be one.
Right.
So let's pull back, design. But now what happened is, we are not able to see an effective tool for action that cuts away too soon from the actor.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be oneer all through. Even we have done non-oneers also in Citadel
Yeah, of
and
course.
all that. In that too, none of the shots are like punch, close, kick, result, block, cut. It's not there. So we tend to make our actors do enough that it's still more believable, you're in it.
Correct.
And I don't think there's a more effective way for us.
Yeah. And we love doing
And
it.
we're addicted now.
Yeah. It's obviously great for the people to watch, but I'm sure it's so much process and so much design that goes into it before execution.
Exactly.
Super. Final question, and we round it up. Again, you know what you've repeatedly mentioned, especially for people like you, who now everybody wants to work with you, right? From people who are starting out to these bigger mega actors. Now, evidently, you're working with Varun. Sam is obviously a constant. What I want to ask is that sometimes actors cannot be easy. That every creator faces that, right? But with people like you who are so meticulous about, as you mentioned, long take sequences or the execution of it, has the experience of working with bigger stars in a generic umbrella concept gotten better, or has it gotten worse in terms of you still have to deal with those consistent not tantrums but stuff like that? Has it been a case with you?
No, I mean, we've been lucky that way, right? I mean, yes, we have worked with big stars now compared to who we were working with now, and Varun and Shahid before this and all. But the thing is, they are liking our work, so they want, they are giving themselves into that process, right? If we say, ki, you like that, you liked what we did here, so this is how we do it, let's do it this way, they're more than happy to do it, because they also don't want to come and disrupt our process and still get what we can give, correct? Like, right off the bat, like, be it Varun or be it Shahid, they were like, forget everything else. I mean, I'm going to forget everything else I've done. Let's do it how you want to do it. That's been the spirit.
They come in with that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And we also realize that how usually the norm is that, oh God, these actors, they'll come and start directing now. They'll start camera wahan pe kyun hai, yahan pe kyun hai, and all that stuff. There's one part that nuisance people talk about. The other part would be about delays. I don't like these clothes. I don't like the hair and delays and all that. The first part of it we lately realized, or not lately, I mean realized it very early in the last second innings or whatever, is that most of them, or pretty much all of them, are very smart actors.
Okay.
So you cannot discount their point of view.
Right.
It's not like, listen, I'm the director, you're the actor, act and go. I don't think it works like that, especially if you're an accomplished actor and a good actor, because there is a thought behind why they're saying it. So it's become lately a little more of a teamwork.
Yeah, give and take.
In terms of, you don't like the camera there, and I want to know why, and they'll tell us, because Raj, I want to do it like this. Shooting profile, I know, but can I see the right eye? Because it might sound strange, but I'm seeing their point of view, that he's going to get a glint of tear. Right. I might not catch, and he might not get it again.
Right.
So so yes, I'm appreciative of especially the strong actors who have opinion. Love to discuss and do it together. It only improves the craft.
Absolutely fabulous, and I think that very evidently shows, especially as I mentioned, even with these stalwart actors coming in and still the craft not taking a back seat. Right. So thank you so much, guys. I wish I could talk for hours and hours, because why not? But yeah, I mean I have to round it up, but thank you so much. Such a pleasure talking to the both of you. I hope to have a better conversation later ahead, and cannot wait for Citadel Honey Bunny.
Thank you.
Thank you.